Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kiev Cybersport Arena, home of Starladder Season 9. It is time now for Game 2, what could be our last time seeing this team, Evil Geniuses. They're up against Empire, backs against the wall. They lost Game 1. They got to win out 2 here, and then if they even make it there, they'd be playing DK in the Grand Finals. They're waiting with a 1-game advantage from the winner's bracket. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Merlini. Ben, can EG bounce back?
I'm not sure. They didn't seem to have a real good game plan against Empire. Empire's early mid was just way too strong and completely overwhelmed EG. I'm not sure whether they were preparing for IG, whether
we did talk to Charlie, and he did say that they thought IG was going to win, but they prepared
just
for
beat
both.
Empire like a week ago, though, 2-0. So what in the world has happened to them? I mean, Empire are playing really well, though, to be fair.
I feel like Empire's, yeah, I think that's they're just playing better, basically. They've stepped their game up on LAN. Some teams rise to the occasion, some falter. EG was stepping their game up coming into this event, and ever since that DK loss, well, it's now 3 games in a row they've lost. No margin for error from here.
Not at all. Not at all. And I think that Empire is doing a very good job of keeping EG away from their normal game, which is not necessarily 4 protect 1, but 4 fighters and have RTZ just get huge. That's been their way to victory for the majority of April and a lot of March too. And now they don't let him have that high of an impact. Mostly it's just they shut him down early, but also it's because of the hero choices.
Well, that game definitely, it was because of the hero choice. I mean, Dragon Knight, only so much he can do against an Exhort Invoker, especially one of Resolution's caliber. Yeah.
It really is. I think they have to give him a more skill-dependent matchup instead of giving him one that's a little underhanded for him.
Well, I was going to say that they could give him OD because we just saw draft
I think they have to first pick OD, though. They have to draft him in the first phase. If they don't pick him in the first phase, I think teams will always ban in the second. Is
it worth securing Luna this early over something like OD? Because that's now 3 RTZ bans.
Well, Eternal Envy played Pugna last game, and it was a very weak Pugna. And I don't necessarily think it was Envy's played that much, but at the same time, he could have played better, and it is just not something that you know Eternal Envy for. He's all about maximizing efficiency, and efficiency is really good when you're gearing towards a late game, but you're not gearing towards a late game as a Pugna. So I think if they want him to be efficient and play efficient, which is what he specializes at, they need to give him a hero like Luna.
So they do secure a good hero for Envy. That we can all agree on. Treant Protector picked up for PPD.
I don't think it's worth giving Empire Invoker.
And Dazzle. They've given Empire the Dazzle.
I think it's not worth it.
Many have tried this before. Few have succeeded, giving away the Resolution Invoker and the Dazzle. And I love these bans from Empire. Removing out the Universe Darkseer. His Batrider was quite high impact last game, but Darkseer just an even better fit for this EG draft, especially with the team fight. They've already selected from a Tree and a Luna, so I think a smart ban there.
I think they might need a Sand King ban, actually.
Even with the Darkseer already being removed? Or EG might need a Sand King ban?
Yes, EG might need a Sand King ban. I think Always Wanna Fly has been really clutch on a Sand King. It just sets up a lot of good team fights when he can just instantly blink stun. And yeah, Sand King might die, but the hero that he's going to stun, and that's only considering he gets a 1-man stun. If he gets like a 3-man stun, if he gets a 3-man epi stun, the team fight is straight over from there. So that potential from a support is actually very, very low. And Sand King is one of the highest, biggest playmakers on the support that we see.
And the other thing is that EG have not been contesting the enemy wood. So maybe they go in and play some wards, but they're not actually like going too aggressively into their off lane. Universe just mostly stays in the lane. So then Sand King freely farms the stacks.
Yeah, I think it's a very smart ban. It's just been a really big problem. Always Want to Fly. He gets his Blink Dagger too early, and he just does too much with it. Well, I'm on board with that ban. Evil Geniuses, though, what are they going to pick for RTZ? That's the main question here. They already secured Eternals, MVs, heroes. Zai and Universe can play a very wide range of heroes and still have a high impact. I think RTZ's high impact heroes are...
There's Tinker.
Ember.
Which we see from him occasionally.
Tinker, I think, would be really good for him. It scales really well late. It's not terribly vulnerable to ganks early, and there's always a big catch-up mechanism, too, in the Ancient stack. Not that DK doesn't. It's just you can only do so much as a DK.
There's also Shadow Fiend, who does pretty well against the Invoker, the Radiant side as well. Very greedy, though.
Yeah, it's a little too greedy. They do have Treant Protector, though, so it wouldn't be the worst thing.
Let's see. Those are the two main ones that come to mind for me. TA, I suppose, but EG just haven't.
No.
Some teams have been favoring TA this tournament, but not really EG so much.
So we'll go back to the SD Luna.
Well, it's been a pretty. There was a period where Luna was falling off a lot, but she's just roared back. And the Shadow Demon Luna combo, especially once you get to the mid game, you just start disrupting or popping the Manta illusions, and like you mentioned, the Mirana didn't do as much, but any kind of just illusion, safe sieging seems to be key in this tournament. Teams that are able to siege safely normally win, and Luna, Shadow Demon, one of the best pairs to do it with.
Shadow Demon is normally only picked versus Bat, though. I think majority of the games that we've seen him, it has been in tandem with Luna, but also against the Bat Rider. But Shadow Demon Luna is already strong enough, but they do need to set him up into someone. EG can easily run a Priestess of the Moon. I think that will... Actually, they can. Zai can play it.
In theory, I'm sure RTZ could play it as well.
They play pretty well with...
Yeah.
They play pretty well. Well, at the same time, it's like Resolution on Potom and RTZ on Potom. They might play it well, but their game impact is just not high enough.
Other heroes out there, there's Puck, there's Storm. Those are pretty...
I don't think he can play Storm.
And the other question is, what is Universe going to play? His Darkseer's been banned. There's Clockwork in the pool. There's
Timber. There's Centaur. There's a lot of heroes left for him. They can just wait on that one.
Timber is kind of the one they tend to prefer with Tree, so I would lean that way for them, but let's see what they do.
They probably need another Disable, though. I guess Clock's pretty good versus Bane.
And how about Empire? So they've gotten their Dazzle Invoker. Now they go into the Bane. Mirana would be pretty good for them as well.
It would.
What else does Silent like to play? I mean, besides Luna.
Evil Geniuses, they might want to consider just taking Potom so that Silent can't take it. I think Empire's like almost certainly going to take Potom next pick.
Morphling is the other big one that Silent
Morphling's
play.
really
and there's no lockdown here for each.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess it does synergize a little bit better with Bane, and if they do go Morphling, Empire's more likely to 4-on-5, and Evil Geniuses may be able to come out ahead in the mid game if they do want to give Empire Morphling.
Oh, I was saying for Empire, but yeah, it could have worked for EG, but seems they won't go
I know for Empire.
Okay.
Yeah, it could work for either team. I think, yeah, for Empire, if they took Morphling, though, I think Evil Genius can take advantage of that, whereas if they have a Potom, it doesn't make their lineup that weak. Well,
Dragon Knight, once again, they're going to stick with it.
He really likes Dragon Knight.
This is a safer Dragon Knight pick, though, because they're not pairing it with Pugna, and there's less pressure to get stuff done, and here comes the big guy with the horns. Centaur's the choice for Team Empire, and, well, their pickoff potential. This is that DK combo, the Invoker Centaur. Bane, nice setup. A lot of killing potential.
A lot of damage coming out, too. And physical on top of that. I think Empire has had a very good mix of physical and magical threats. Like, you have Cold Snap Meteor Blast from last game and Sand King with Veil, Epicenter, Burrow Strike. Like, you have to get a BKB, and even if you do get a BKB, you still have to deal with Dazzle with all his minus armor. You had to deal with their physical damage dealer, and you had to deal with Invoker with his Necrobooks, Force Spears, and right click. So it's really difficult to itemize. Usually, if you face a mostly Intel or mostly Sunlight, you're like, okay, BKB and I'm good, but you can't really get BKB and do damage. You can't even like stay in the fight often versus Empire. So I like the draft. It's been very well-rounded.
Yeah, I agree. EG need that off-laner now for Universe, and the Timbersaws the ban.
Decent,
it's the one that they run the most with Tree.
I think Clock would be really good for them too.
Puck, okay. Well, Puck is maybe even better because they kind of needed some lockdown here.
It's very good versus Bane. They have a couple of ways to interrupt grip, just even a defensive disrupt, overgrowth, loosen beam, Dragon Knight stun. Anyone can interrupt it.
Yeah, good initiator as well. If you can catch multiple heroes with the silence, they might not be able to grave. So good against Dazzle, potentially good against Centaur to prevent him from stampeding. So a nice balanced draft for EG, and the lanes seem very clear. Off-lane Puck for Universe, solo mid Dragon Knight for Arteezy, Treant Protector, Shadow Demon, and Luna will be played by the tri-lane Envy, PPD, and Zai. And for Empire now, they'll just be looking for their safe lane farmer for Silent.
Oh, they've already banned Potom. I thought Potom was
Morphlane's the main one that jumps out at me, although I don't know how good of a pick he is now with the Dragon Knight and the Puck coming out.
He's still decent. He can take it up, though. He won't die in the stuns. I think that's actually pretty important. I actually think they should have taken Potom over Centaur and then maybe taken Centaur last, but Centaur is pretty damn good.
There you go. Silence Morphling.
No surprise. No surprise.
He's done well on the hero this tournament.
Yes.
Actually,
yes, he has.
Look at that. 100% win rate. That's impressive.
Well, the one thing about EG that I think they could improve on is being able to aggro try. You can't necessarily aggro try with a Treant, but
every game they go defensive.
Yes, it's too predictable. And you can get away with like the greediest of carries, which completely suits Silent. Silent has just not been pressured at all. Like 5 minutes in, still no pressure. 10 minutes in, no pressure. 20 minutes in, just free farm for 20 minutes. Where is any sort of pressure? And I think a really good start would just be able to try lane him, punish him for his greed, force him out of his comfort zone, and force him to play from behind.
Empire are so used to being in the driver's seat and being the ones applying the pressure. And, well, we talked about shutting down RTZ, but Silence probably had the easiest time of any core in this tournament thanks to his team. Well, with that being said, guys, it's time now for what could be EG's last game on the main stage here at Kiev Cybersport Arena, live for Starladder Season 9, your loser bracket finals. It's Empire leading 1-0 against EG. Resolution on the Invoker, Mag the Centaur. They've gone aggressive into the enemy woods, and they start dropping down wards. Score your Dazzle, always want to fly, playing the Bane, and that does leave Silent, starting with the pull Tangos as the safe lane, Morph lane. And on the Radiant side, Evil Geniuses, PPD, the Tree Master, can he do it again? Zai playing the Shadow Demon, Eternal Envy back on a comfort hero in the Luna. Solo mid will go Arteezy. On the Dragon Knight, great in one game, not so great in the other this tournament, and Universe playing that off-lane puck.
Well, wards have already been set out, and one thing I think Empire has been doing a really good job of doing is placing relatively unpredictable wards too. This one I don't think blocks a big camp, but it's pretty unlikely that EG will be doing stacks this early. It's more important that the ward stays up and provides vision. EG, they have 2 wards of their own, one on the off lane, make Puck's life a little bit easier, and one on the high ground to hopefully protect our tour, because Empire, they're pretty obviously going to safe lane with a Morphling. Morphling offensive try does not happen very often.
He's actually going mid.
I know. Well, actually, I thought they were going to safe lane try, but they're not going to put him aggressive. So that means that the supports aren't going to rotate from bottom. They're going to rotate from top, and this Observer Ward will definitely protect them from that.
So Morphling mid against a Dragon Knight. This is... We saw a lot of Morphid for a while. And he's actually allowed 1 creep to push into the tower, so... Now the lane's going to push all the way back out.
I'm actually surprised that they didn't put Resolution mid, though. Resolution shut him down very hard last game in a straight one-on-one situation. I think he had like 10 more CS than him at that like 4 or 5 minute mark. And the key to a lot of EG's defeats has just been Arteezy. He, like his Ember Spirit versus Alliance, which I actually think they should have lost that game, and the prior games, he's just been really low on the GPM. I think K-Poptosis often cites the stat that Arteezy has the highest GPM of any player, but where has that been this tournament, or at least this past day?
Well, and how often does the team win when he's got a subpar GPM is the other thing. And it's kind of similar to what Joe said about IG, where you shut down 430, the game's generally over from there. So they will dual lane mid, as you mentioned, and Silent farming well. In the off-lane Universe, up against a somewhat scary dual lane, actually, this Invoker Bane. They can really shut down his farm with the Enfeeble, and potentially if he misuses the orb, they can kill him, though he should be reserving it mostly just to escape. Still, I guess the one thing the Invoker offers you in the safe lane is he can just do a little bit more to zone out a hero like Puck early on.
PBD trying to zone out the Mag a little bit. Mag is only level 1 on that.
You're going to confuse the viewers if you start calling him the Mag.
The Mag.
Yeah, of course, that is the Centaur. Well, how are the lanes looking in terms of farm? So far, it is pretty even.
Always Want to Fly, though, is always forced to zone out Universe, though, instead of creep pulling. So he will be relatively under level and takes a lot of the farm from Invoker, but Resolution almost always goes Midas. So he'll catch up in levels quite easily. Always Want to Fly actually out of HP and mana. He does have a Clarity, but there is no way Universe can harass him with that Enfeeble on him.
Bankscore going for the jugular here with the Courier Snipe, but his movement up the hill was spotted by this Observer Ward, so Arteezy should be fine. He'll have to send the Courier around the long way. Let's see if Bankscore even... Nah, he's not going to see it.
Yeah, nice wardage. But that's the thing. It just makes it too predictable when you can't aggro. If they aggro and their supports can rotate like all up in this area with no vision, then that's huge. But EG knows what's going on. They are going to pressure Arteezy as they have been constantly. Well, Universe, how's he doing in levels? 3.5 on him. Mag is only level 2 and just barely into level 2. So EG, again, on the back of PPD's tree, just doing a fantastic job of making sure the offlane doesn't get more than he should.
Yeah, Universe is getting a lot of levels. He was pretty close to being able to go for a kill on this Bane, who doesn't actually have a point in the silence, or sorry, not the silence, the brain sap yet. So Always Want to Fly was almost in the danger zone there. Went for Enfeeble at level 1, and then into the sleep for level 2. So the Zai's going to rotate towards mid, maybe looking to protect Arteezy here, or at least secure his farm a bit. Not really finding much to do so far.
Arteezy's still having pretty good CS though. 13-2 on him compared to the 15-8 from Silent. It's not the worst.
He's actually gotten quite a few denies as well. Getting any against this lane is pretty impressive.
Yep. Yep. They're both not full range heroes though, so that makes things a little bit easier for him.
Zai trying to prevent Mag from going for the 4-minute rune, but won't be able to get a disrupt off. There is a PPD lead seed here, can just bully him off the rune, be a bit of a nuisance, and well, he will do so.
Oh, Arteezy actually went for Bracer before a Boots. That's interesting.
And look at this, Haster in for the tree. I'll just go back to the... No. They're going to do something. And they smoked. You mentioned not getting dewarded. They've smoked right under the ward. Oh, this could go poorly for EG.
Or it could go poorly for Silent. I don't know if he actually knows.
They should have seen it. They had a ward right there. Uh-oh. He's been caught out. This could be our first blood for EG. Soul Catcher comes through. Silent out of mana to Morph and just getting the right clicks. First blood to EG.
They had good observer wards. That's just Silent's fault for not backing off earlier. They had vision. Or, I mean, maybe he didn't see the smoke, but usually you just see dots disappear on your minimap. Well, like, well, I know they smoked.
And they're also diving bottom now. Mag being forced to retreat out by Eternal Envy. He's got a level 3 Lucent Beam. If they can follow that up with even a Leech Seed and a single right click, that's probably a kill. So Mag's got to hug this tower, just find his experience as safely as possible. He will eat a Lucent Beam.
Again, PPD on this early game tree rotation.
He's so aggressive compared to other tree players.
He is so aggressive. You usually do not see trees smoke this early into the game, but Morphling was out of mana, so maybe if they like have better rune control, didn't they see him get the haste too? Like, why are they not scared of that at all?
I don't know.
Well, EG
just a mistake
with a kill lead, finally.
Well, Empire have had to play quite a few games over the past few days. They've already played 5 playoff games just coming into this one, and maybe it's a slight fatigue issue, but nonetheless, EG will be happy to capitalize. It does beg the question, though, should they have just sent the Invoker mid again?
I don't see why not.
Because they could have done that.
Yeah, they easily could have. I don't really see the big problem with that. And I think he's generally like slightly better protected against a gank, too. Well, I mean, Morphling should, but he doesn't have mana because he's trying to play super aggressively on Arteezy. But if he has a point of Wex, you can just Tornado have Wex, you can just Exort, you can use Ice Wall, you can Cold Snap. And you have Force Spears being on them, so potentially you get a return kill. It's... I don't know if the trade-off's worth it, but Empire certainly thinks it is.
The whole point of the dual lane is to secure the Morphling's farm and to shut down Arteezy a little bit, but he hasn't been shut down. 31 CS.
He has more than Morph.
And Envy has free farm. Yeah, he should not have more than the Morph lane against the dual lane.
Well, Zai looking for a kill on Mag.
Playing it very safe, though. Always Want to Fly will come back. 6-minute rune. Already picked up.
Now they can't pressure Arteezy, though, because they have living armor, and because they're behind into this lane.
And because he's already level 7. He is just getting the Bracer pick up early and Magic Wand, almost 1,000 health. And 9 armor. Not an easy kill.
Yeah,
they're going to go for a smoke.
Way too much HP.
And this one won't be seen. And they're even smoking in the Luna with the clips. This is a very unexpected movement. Universe is abandoned top lane as well. And they could easily find... If they get a kill here, that's a tier 1 down with the Dragon Knight. This is a big opportunity for EG to bust game 2 wide open. They'll begin by working on the tower, and they'll find Always Want to Fly here with a Disruption, a Soul Catcher. He gets Silent Stop, and he will fall. The Orb's actually going to connect on 2. They brought 2 heroes down in a matter of seconds. Will the Morphling get a kill? No, can't do it.
And easy tower.
Easy tower. And they could even at least chip away at the tier 2. Envy. Has Eclipse.
Now it's on Resolution to kind of make the big plays. Again, 3-0. EG is pretty far ahead. He does have his Midas, but it's still only a level 7 Invoker. He can only do so much.
Just a few extra auto attacks from Arteezy. He's brought the tower down to half health with this catapult. There's a lot of damage to take on a tier 2 at 8 minutes into the game.
Yeah, he's been putting so much pressure out on the Dragon Knight, though, and this is just something he couldn't do without the tree.
Well, 8-minute rune gonna spawn. Who's gonna get it?
Oh, Resolution, he might be in trouble here. They do have an Eclipse. Oh, I thought Zai was about to disrupt some peeps, but no. Actually, rune will go to Centaur.
And Mag's going to be on the chase here. Doesn't have his ultimate yet, but does have double edge available. Chasing down Zai. Starts giving him the right clicks. Soul Catcher. I don't think he can get this kill.
I don't even think he can do any damage to him with living armor.
He does stomp. He does double edge. Sunstrike's there, and it's not going to connect. In fact, he's going to go down. He just goes all YOLO on him.
Tree's too tanky. Living armor too good.
Meanwhile, Arteezy is playing ultra aggressive mid, but this game he's got living armor, and on top of that, he's had a good start. This is like the first DK game he played this term, or he could get away with being aggressive.
Yeah,
and they can't really
the tree pick that a lot of fiends have in for spanning versus EG seems to be very well warranted.
It really does.
This tree is just scary. 002, been involved in 2 kills this early as a tree, and just making Arteezy completely fearless and being able to create a ton of space.
Well, if EG win this game, they'll have a deciding game 3 and a shot at moving on to a rematch with DK in the finals. They off to a really good lead early on, up by about 4K gold, 3K experience, grouping up his 4 bottom lane. One main thing I think they would want for the mid game is the puck blink, but don't have it quite yet. He's just trying to farm a top lane, and Envy is getting aggressive here. Still has the Eclipse, never bothered to use it earlier, spamming out the Lucent Beam, and switching to Intreads as he does it, being efficient with that mana, and they'll take the next tower. The Dragon Knight Luna, if you don't have an okay landing stage, then and your Empire, you're struggling to counter push this. They're not trading either, but they are rotating heroes in. If they fight onto this, they're fighting into a lot of beef in the front lines in the form of the Dragon Knight, the Eclipse as well. They'll sleep up Envy. There was a disruption here, always want to fly. Now Zai getting Cold Snap, forced to retreat out. Dragon Tail available. Arteezy not throwing it yet. EG playing this much more patiently than some of their earlier pushes.
See, now they've rotated Silent up top, but they should have done this to begin with. I mean, he doesn't have his Midas yet. It's 10 minutes in. This pretty late timing for his Midas, and Arteezy is just off to the races.
That's another tier 2 below 700 health, below half health at 10 minutes.
This Dragon Knight ultimate seems like it's always up.
I know.
Well, it does have 60-second duration, 115-second cooldown.
Yeah, and you can just have it down while you're walking between lanes anyway, so it's always up when you need it.
Well, third T1 tower about to be pressured. I don't know how Silent's going to farm under this.
Well, but Morphling getting close to Midas. Will they be able to find him, steal some creeps? They're going to start pressuring that safe lane, and with the Dragon Knight ult cooling down and a double damage run up, they can potentially even take this tower. I don't know if Empire can actually defend this.
Well, they can hope to trade. Invoker is level 9, but no Force Staff.
They're trading against living armor.
Yeah, well, they need to commit to this tower push.
Yeah, there can be no half-assing here from Empire.
Well, Dragon Knight ultimate up in just 10 seconds time. Looks like he will be going a BKB rush, and there is no glyph on Empire. There is a glyph on EG. I think, oh, Stampede.
Well, they've gone up PPD, but a flurry of TPs come in, and the counter gank is in. EG start with the disruption, will match the stun resolution here. Then the orb comes through. They secure the first kill. Universe hits the 2-hero coil, and now they're in a lot of trouble trying to TP out. They will get the Bane away. They won't get the Dazzle away, however. He's going to go down, and the tower, Forward Spirit's trying to do what they can, but a nice defense by EG. They kill off the Invoker, and they only lose 2 supports. So 2 for 2, but killing off an Invoker as well.
The tower almost dies, but PPD has respawned, and PPD's position was just so good. If they die him at this point, they're going to incur heavy casualties, and nice response with that 3-man TP. A nice catch by Puck, too.
And, yeah, PPD's got Overgrowth as well, so next team fight's going to be very strong for EG.
Oh, living armor. You fail a push, you're going to have to start from point A again.
Like you said, you have to commit to the push against living armor. Well, Team Empire, no Blink Dagger on Mag yet. I think the biggest issue for this team is they don't really have much tempo control without that Blink. Last game, they had a really fast Blink Dagger on a Sand King. Bane can offer you some with his grip, but there's a lot of ways for EG to cancel it. Lucent Beam, Puck Silence.
solo smoked. I guess he was trying to place wards. He will place a ward.
Oh, Silent pings it out immediately, so this will be dewarded soon. That's you're fluffing stuff, Smoke, basically.
Silent needs more time. He needs way more time.
But EG are the perfect lineup to apply pressure. With the DK, they can just keep on pushing towers, slow down Empire's ability to farm, to split push, and Morphling just doesn't split push that fast right now.
Well,
They're not going to.
It's not only that they can pressure a lot, it's that if Empire gets time, EG has time too, and they can make very good use of it. They have a Dragon Knight and a Luna to deal with in a late game. Like, it's scary. Empire doesn't necessarily want to take this late, but they kind of have to with 2 Midases.
Yeah, they're not. They just can't fight much right now. Centaur Blink might change the equation a bit. But while they're busy trying to farm that up, Arteezy is pressuring the tier 2 in the top lane. The Dragon's banging away at the tower. And Empire, not quick to react to this.
We need a stat for tower damage this game because Arteezy's is going to be insane.
This is the 3rd tier 2 of the game that he's brought below half health. Just with the level 1 ultimate even. The TP will come in. He will be forced back, but they're waiting with Universe. They jump in with the coil. Centaur will deploy his ult. Resolution starts running around like a chicken with his head cut off, but he'll stop before breaking the coil. They're looking for a sleep here on Arteezy. Well, they revealed the Puck Blink Dagger, and Arteezy juking through the trees. He'll look for a TP out soon. Will always want to fly find him. No, he's gone into a nice little choke point here, and gets out. Great play by Arteezy.
And in the meanwhile, Eternal Envy, always pushing. Always pushing. That's an easy tower.
Well, if it's not him, it's Arteezy. The two of them together.
Even if they get Arteezy, they still lose the T2.
This kind of reminds me a bit of the DK game 2 versus EG, where there were trades, but they were always getting the better trades. They can take towers. Maybe they lose a hero here or there, but it's just so much more gold into their pockets it hardly even matters. Now a Blink Dagger for the Centaur. So this will be the one item that Empire have to count on to maybe turn the game. But can Centaur really go in on EG? They have so much counter-initiate. There's no real easy targets here either. Maybe Shadow Demon, but Zai is likely to be playing quite conservatively.
Yeah, and if he survives through Tree Armor and gets Defensive Disrupt, man. Well, Dragon Knight still ult on CD for 20 seconds, but I think they can probably pressure this tower plus top, or this tower plus T3, or this tower plus Roshan. They can keep moving on because they haven't used any cooldowns.
And EG take yet another tower, then they go in with a Blink Silence. Orbing through and always want to fly. Envy feeling very confident. And EG probably don't need to try and break the base yet.
You know what hero
actually
hasn't really done anything for Empire is Dazzle. Dazzle was a hero that we talked about would just work so well for Empire, but he just can't do anything when it comes to constant tower pushing. He's really good at...
He's good at counter ganking,
he's good at counter ganking. He's decent at ganking too, but he's just terrible at anti-push.
Yeah, they did not expect the lanes to go this poorly. Their laning setup was designed to win mid lane and safe lane, and it did not. Centaur will be dropped. He jumps in. It's a 2-hero stomp, but there's a coil counter initiation onto almost everyone, along with the Eclipse. Empire getting overrun here. Now Resolution caught out. He's killed off. That's 4 dead. The Invoker's going to buy back. That's a team wipe. EG go straight for the jugular. They hit the kill switch, and they might have just taken racks off of that. Wow.
That's scary. 16-minute push with Dragon Knight and Luna. Non-stop pressure.
You saw EG's draft, and they could have just sat back and taken it late, but I like this slight adjustment of just forcing fights.
Not forcing too hard, though.
Yeah.
Hard enough. They're making the Morphling with FaZe and Midas fight, though. That's the big thing. And he ended up dying. Silent 0, 2, and 1 on that end. I don't think he's going to have time to get online. That's the risk of the Morph pick as opposed to the Potom, which EG banned out.
Yeah. And again, it does go back to the laning where the dual lane mid just did not accomplish its objective. Did not shut down Arteezy at all. Didn't even really secure the Morphling's free farm.
Yeah, questionable laning choices from Empire, and I think EG just realized exactly what Empire is going to do. If you're going to go Midases, if you're going to pick Morphling, we are going to push you to death. You fell into our trap.
Well, EG now leading by 14k gold, 7.5k experience, and looking to defend these towers. They haven't given up a single tower yet in 17 minutes. This maybe changes with the Morphling getting more levels and the Necro book, but with living armor, it's going to be hard just to backstab a tower. And you go back to this dive where they couldn't quite finish the tower off. Now it's almost at full HP thanks to PPD and his living armor.
That's fun. That's fun to play against. So I think Empire needs to ban... I don't know. If your first pick, you ban Naga and Tree, Tree's too annoying.
So you give them
Bat
Ember as well.
One of the two teams usually bans Ember, but I don't know. This tree is just too difficult to deal with. He wins the lanes not only by making your solo hero impossible to kill, but also he gets kills on the tree.
Well, we saw one way to deal with it, which is to run Dragon Knight. The living armor is quite useless when your team's pushing against him. That happened yesterday, so maybe that's something that Empire should. I believe it was DK who ran that for Mushi.
I think so.
It was someone.
It was someone.
They're going to pop a Centaur ult, and they go in right now. Stomps there, but quick reactions out by Zai. Now the Overgrowth. This one's on 4. Look for the coil. Wave over the top, then the Eclipse coming out once again from Eternal Envy. It's a level 2 Eclipse as well. Just eviscerating Empire. Way too much damage. Double kill. PPD with the huge Overgrowth. And a great reaction from Zai, dodging that blink, and now they'll just look to hunt Empire down. They've lost Vang score. They've lost 3. Give it 4 kills. No, Ghost Walk. No detection. Breathe Fire's fishing. Won't find him. But they can just go down mid now.
A little bit late Sentry by Tree in particular, but not as late as Empire Sentry. Their smoke got popped. Tree was just sitting there, and that's the problem with PPD's Tree. Like, not only does he get kills early, not only does he just living armor to right targets all the time and be a huge pain in the ass, he's also walking around in Nature's Guise, always scouting our team, popping smokes, and doing really important things that set up huge team fights for EG.
Blink in from Zai. He's going to catch out the Morphling and Silent. Don't know if he's a match for these Glaives here. Poison's there. It's only 1 stack so far. Then PPD comes in. They manage to bring him down. Envy will secure the kill on the Morphling. He buys back as well. They've got to make something out of this buyback. That is a big investment for a Midas Morphling this early. And they've already lost 1 lane of Rax anyway.
They need a back. They don't have Dragon Knight ultimate. They do have BKB on him in case he gets in a tight pickle, but most of their cooldowns are down. I don't think they have to force this, but they very well may.
Well, they don't have Eclipse here.
Shadow Strike or Sunstrike almost connects on PPD. Well, healing up with the Leech Seed too.
Now
and Urn.
Yeah, he's got the Urn, so I almost feel like they could go back in, but safe choice is to wait for Eclipse to cool down and
Dragon Knight
your
ult.
Dragon Knight ult.
They can do Roshan if they want to. I think it's a little bit too risky though. They can just play it safe, wait for the cooldowns, take Roshan if they want to, or just keep pressuring the towers. And I think that's probably their forte with that DK ult. That poison damage, 100 damage on the tower per hit, provided all the poison goes off.
Yeah, it's a lot of pushing power. Well, EG at this point, Manta Style was online in the last fight for Eternal Envy. Now they get an armlet up for Arteezy. These two are starting to pack a serious punch in terms of physical damage output. And I feel EG just one good fight away from 2 lanes of Rax. Plus Morphling having to buy back in that fight, that just neuters Empire's economy so hard. He has nothing, just Midas, Aquila, and Phase Boots.
Yeah, he really doesn't. Morphling just can't do anything this early in the game.
Even the Invokers, at this stage of the game, normally Resolution has Necro 3 by this phase, and sometimes you've got Boots and a Force Staff instead of the Treads.
Mag's trying to tank up Roshan, but they don't have the damage to do it.
Even if they get the Rosh, they're losing the second lane of Rax if they keep this up. Arteezy keeps on pounding in. Luna will come through as well. Sunstrike going to connect on Arteezy, and the Glaives keep on chipping in. Now they start bouncing to Resolution. They might not get the Rax, but they are going to take down yet another Tier 3 some way. Although they might get denied here. Let's see if Empire get that. No, look, Radiant gets it in the end. Now Force Staff from the tree. He's ready to jump in. He can also Force Step the Dragon Knight in to get off a Dragon Tail here. That's probably the goal, and that's exactly what they'll do. Great combination from EG. Then Universe comes in. Silence is out too. They're just melting to this damage. Another kill. 3 heroes about to fall. It could be 4, and it's GG time. Empire, they call it.
That was way more lopsided than game number 1.
It really was.
Empire with a typical
trade.
Empire draft. Ban tree. Well, I mean, what about DK? Ban DK second phase? I don't know. It was a combination of things, though.
The laning was the other thing that we touched on.
The laning was just really strange. I mean, this is a very classic Empire draft, though. You can't say that this was out of comfort zone at all, but EG just attacking from a completely different game plan.
And frankly, Empire just were not on their A game this game. So they had a ward where EG smoked. They saw the haste ring get picked up, and they still gave up a kill on the Morphling mid. That should not happen. That really hurts Empire.
Well, looking at these two teams, EG looks fairly calm and composed. Empire looks like they need a smoke break or something.
well, they need something. A breath of fresh air, perhaps. But, guys, we won't mince too many words here. Game 3 is coming up. This is our final match of the loser bracket finals. The winner moves on to play DK. DK just taking notes right now, I'm sure, relaxing. And, well, they'll be well rested for it. Who's going to take it? Will it be EG? Will it be Empire? We'll find out after this. Stay tuned.